Let's go over everything that went wrong in a show nobody cares, likes, or will even bother to watch more than a couple of episodes. The very first thing we are shown is the main chick naked in the bathtub. It's supposed to make us feel sorry for her because she's sad, but without any context, this is just pornification. 3 seconds in and you're already told to start jerking off. The next scene is a terrible excuse for an info dump where she tells in a camera what is going on with the world. There is no good reason for saying any of that since everybody knows them from where she is standing, and the fact that she's pointing out she's 18 years old is just another excuse for the weeboos to jerk off without feeling ashamed of her being underage. Also, her claims of finding a cure for the disease while she's dressed like that and in a room full of typical hormone-crazy teen posters is not making her believable in the least. And then the scene changes and we get something completely different that has absolutely no relation with the build-up thus far, which makes your eyes roll with how it came out of left field. We go centuries in the past where two samurai are info-dumping their own stories in a most awkward way, and then for no given reason they teleport to the present and they fight CGI monsters with really crappy animation. Your eyes are already merry-go-round at this point and we are not even in the middle of the episode yet. Then the pornified chick from before saves them. They say they are a time-traveling samurai and she's okay, whatever. She just accepts it like it's the most normal thing in the world. Then the samurai say if they had a plain old sword, they can defeat those monsters that not even the entirety of the world's advanced weaponry could stop. And she's okay, I believe you, that will actually happen. So this old man leaves the car they are using for fetching a sword from his home. But they are not waiting for him to return, they abandon him and keep driving, so he has to return on foot inside a monster-infested city. What the hell, didn't you say you can beat the monsters with a sword? Why are you going unarmed instead of following the old man? The eyes are now wind fans. Then they go to this military base for even more awkward info dumps. The funniest part is when the mother of the chick accepts everything the samurai are telling her right away, and that is explained by her daughter as being mentally disturbed, so she believes everything she's told. Yes, because her thinking she can find a cure by being a pornified waifu that believes in time-traveling samurai who can save the world with a common sword is not mental at all. The heroine, who made sure to tell us she's 18 years old, so it's a kid bunker, challenges the noble samurai to a duel for making sure he's as strong as he claims to be. That's right, she doubts his claims after she instantly accepted his claim of coming from the past and bringing him to the military base and introducing him to everybody there as the savior of mankind. Once she did all that, then she doubts him. But it's okay because he easily defeats her in a duel, thus she's now sure of his skills. Because if a grown man with some sword skills can overpower a frail girl, it clearly means you can defeat billions of monsters with a common sword. That's what they tell you and that's what you're supposed to believe. Then our noble heroes change clothes and hair colors. How will that help them in defeating the monsters? It won't. It's just something to make them look cool. That is what the heroine said, one episode after she proclaims in a serious tone to find a cure for the pandemic that is destroying the world. And she's going to achieve that with style by making the time-traveling samurai she just accepted out of nowhere to look really fashionable with teenage girls who are into black leathers and boys with tragic backdrops. Meanwhile, the grandpa they abandoned in the middle of a monster-infested city so they can go play dress-up risks his life numerous times before eventually getting hurt and infected by the monsters. Something that could have easily been avoided if the noble heroes and the heroine, who cares more about black leather, hadn't abandoned him for trying to bring them a weapon for saving the world. But it's not like anyone cares about that since they never bring it up, and because they don't acknowledge it, we are not supposed to do it either. Anyways, the noble samurai, now dressed in black leather and holding a common sword, starts fighting the monsters and defeats them all. Or that's what I think he does, because I have no idea what is going on. The animation is horrible, the directing is baffling, and the choreography is laughable. They just tell you there was an epic fight, and you're supposed to accept it. And then the episode ends with a grandpa who sacrificed himself so that the samurai can look cool in black leather, asking of him to be killed before he turns to a monster. It's supposed to be a sad moment where you're not supposed to think how none of that would have happened if they hadn't abandoned him to go play dress up. But they don't mention that, so we're not supposed to ask questions either. Because as the fans of horribly written stories will insist, there is no such thing as good writing. It's all artificial because the author wanted it to be like that. And since it's all fake anyways, just consume! Consume, you mindless idiots! Consume! The new mission is about securing research that can lead to the cure of the pandemic that Big Brother is using for making you think a seasonal flu will kill us all. Sorry, I meant a disease that turns people to monsters. So the retrieval mission includes a man who is a scientist and is therefore useful, 4 men with weapons who can defeat the monsters and are therefore useful, and 2 airhead bimbos who don't know shit about the cure, can't fight, and should have stayed in the kitchen making sandwiches for the men. I mean, seriously, why are they there? They offer nothing besides more instances of bad writing. The teenage airhead is doing nothing but filming herself and the men, saying a whole bunch of nothing that are supposed to be fleshing them out as characters, when in reality it's worthless information that offers nothing to the plot and that should have been shown in the plot instead of being forcefully info-dumped like that. Therefore, she is completely worthless to the plot, and the more she talks, the more she makes you think she's the protagonist of a date sim for girls. Just there, ogling the men who are doing all the work instead of doing something useful herself. This part of the, whatever you can call plot, is completely detached from whatever else is going on. It's like it exists in a different dimension. And so are the flashbacks to feudal Japan, where the time-traveling dudes came from. I get that they exist for fleshing them out, but again, they have no connection with what is going on now. It's like you are watching a period drama when the series is supposed to be a zombie apocalypse thriller. And then there's her mother, who exists solely for info-dumping random bits of information when someone asks her something. She's a walking Wikipedia that blabbers lore and geography that, again, have no effect on the plot. And it's even more ridiculous when she's used for Captain Obvious moments, such as, hey, look at that building in front of us that for some reason only I can see, and you can only notice if I point my finger at it. Said building is a museum that happens to have legendary weapons for the time-traveling warriors to use. They just happen to be there all at once, and they conveniently gave them all a power-up. Because training is overrated, and so are machine guns, which for some reason are not as effective as clubs and swords. Also, that means the sacrifice of that old man from before was pointless, because he was abandoned to go fetch a common sword that led to his death and which instantly became worthless the moment they found the museum. And I need to mention the cliffhangers where they stop the episode every time a monster is about to kill someone. What's the point of doing that when it's not going to happen? It's fake tension and only makes the series even worse than it is already.